They'll hand it off now. Johnson. Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle. And the Steelers signal for another timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Leopard.
On second down, Johnson. And an alley to run. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup. And that's going to lead to a third down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. This one taken from the 7. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy. No. Off.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to fire one. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. And the Steelers on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Ready? 180.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right, you look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now the Browns coming out on the field. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The linebacker, Ryan Shazier, there to make the tackle.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll set up to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves, which you'd wear in the diving, but they would split too easily in the course of a game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it, and here we are today.
On third down, Barkley. No gain, and it likely forces a punt situation on fourth.
And I think that's going to go down as no gain, but that doesn't seem fair for the effort that was presented on that play. That should go down as a loss. I know, I'm a defensive guy, but you got to like the play that was made.
He made a lot of those plays last week. He was AFC Defensive Player of the Week, picking up where he left off. Landry brushes him off. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
He's going to look deep down the field. And this is caught. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. It's a big play there for the Browns. 51 yards. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation. And he takes this one in for a Browns score. It's their quarterback with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. And he's able to put it through. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Tackle made there by Jabril Peppers.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And the penalty, a big assist to this offense. Now it's 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week, he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Now a handoff, Johnson. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Completes this to Callaway over on the right side. Still going. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Back to throw here. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is caught inside the 5. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns add on to their lead. Gonzalez to add the PAT. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and...
This is intercepted. Picked off by Terrence Mitchell. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett.
And give him a lot of credit there, but even more credit to the guys up front. In that situation, you know it's going to be a stacked defensive front. And to be able to gain that much yardage, that's a big win for the guys on offense.
Yeah, they were just about standing on their own goal line, so to get a few yards there, a great start. Now we'll see what second down brings. This one complete, right side to McDonald. And they'll get him down up past the 15. They were looking for a cushion from that end zone. He gave it to him, 15 big yards. A first down carry for Barkley. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. It goes as a gain of 6, and it's a first down.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, oh, he's a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Focus.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Let's go now. Monday.
Now it's Roethlisberger. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Jonathan Hankins coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
Yeah, difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time He was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. They'll set up a throw. Forced out to his left. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, to say that this has not been his game is probably a big understatement. I mean, he is all over the place. Mechanics are off. Not accurate, except if you're playing on defense, because they picked off a good number of passes.
Yeah, all the INTs, but they're throwing it off his back foot. Pressure coming, just chucking it downfield. He can't do that right now.
No, you can't do that at all. And I think one of the hardest things for a guy having a day like this one is to find a way to just kind of get out of it, kind of get yourself back to neutral. Because what you try and do is make even more spectacular plays to make up for it, and it usually leads to more bad ones.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 34. Now Roethlisberger. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
2nd and 12 after the 1st down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. To throw here, Roethlisberger. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A good pick up there of 20 yards. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Now Ben hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. Off the play fake. Here's Roethlisberger. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And Boswell's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Being chased out left. That's complete over the middle to Cataway. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Eluding the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
And incomplete here on 3rd down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. To Barkley on the check down. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. Now the Steelers hustling up to the line of scrimmage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he had met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Here's Roethlisberger. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start